Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to podcast Day and Night. This is podcast and the place where we will talk about sleeping and how and why sleeping is so important. Everyone will ask me the first thing is why do you have name of the podcast as Day and Night and you are talking about sleeping? Well, if I say sleeping, most of you will immediately think about the night. And it's logical because night is where sleep is happening, and night is very important that our body has enough time to reset and regenerate. But as you will hear in this podcast, the correlation and importance of sleep and the day is very big. How we sleep affects how we will be ready and how we will go through the day, but also the things that we are doing in a day immediately affect the way we will sleep and how good quality our sleep will be. And this is why we have decided to name this podcast Day and Night. And that's the name under which you will find it on all the platforms and be able to listen or watch too. That was the topic. Now I think you should hear something about me. My name is Melnisa. My nickname is Mel B, and I'm going to be the host of this podcast. I feel that I have a lot of knowledge about sleeping and the way we should sleep and why sleep is so important that I should share it with a bit wider group of people. It has started a long time ago that I became interested in sleeping, and I learned a lot. I searched for myself. I decided to test many things and see how they influence my sleep. And I have started to give advices and to talk to the people around me, my family, my friends, my colleagues. And this is the moment now that I can share all this information also to the bit wider group of people. So, as I said, it all has started a long time ago. And the first thoughts about sleeping that I had actually are correlated with coffee. I don't drink coffee. My last coffee was 25 years ago. That was at the time when I started to drink coffee, and I noticed that people around me, they keep talking about coffee in the morning, talking, and some of them said I need one coffee to start the day. Some said I need two, I need three. And I just kept saying to myself, how come that the coffee is what people use to get the energy to go through the day? For myself, that was not okay. I kept asking myself, is there something else that I can do and not rely on a coffee to be my booster for the day, to be my energy for the day? And indeed, with a little bit of thinking, I came and I realized it is the sleep. So I stopped drinking coffee. And not, by the way, I just want to say, I really like the taste of coffee. I come from the country where coffee is very important. We drink coffee from the morning till the evening, and it is also, we drink coffee with friends and family in a way that we talk. So I do spend a lot of my time with my friends and my family drinking coffee, as we say. I just don't drink it. And coffee has stopped 25 years ago being my energy and my booster for the day. I don't need it. My sleep and quality of my sleep is my booster for my day. So this is what I want to share, and I want people to feel that. And not only rely on the coffee. You can then have coffee with your friends and colleagues, but don't have it only in a way that you need it as an energy. I didn't finish the school, and I didn't actually educate myself in the area of sleeping. My background, my professional background is in marketing and product development. So the last 10 years and a decade of my life, the path of my profession brought me to a company where I was able to merge those two. I was developing products that were related to sleeping, mattresses and pillows and duvets and everything else you need. And this is how I had opportunity to not only be busy with developing the products, but also thinking and reading and researching everything about sleep and the importance of sleep. So, yes, I have gathered a lot of knowledge over the past decade. I have gathered a lot of advices, and this is what I want for this podcast. I want to speak in a simple language with sharing the information that I used, that I also gave as advice to my friends and family. And I just wanted to actually transfer all that now to you. Um, and it's not only me. So I have a partner in this podcast, and I'm very happy for my partner. So my partner is not talking. My partner is a company and brand called Dormeo, and it is actually the company where I have been working in the past decade. We have been together working on developing a good quality products for sleeping, and Dormeo does it for decades. Everything in Dormeo actually goes around sleep. Uh, the one thing that motivates everyone in Dormeo to work and to develop the best mattresses and the best pillows, the best bedding sets, all the products you need in your bedroom, is a thought of how crucial sleep and good quality sleep is for our life. How it is, I would say, big importance of sleep in life and how much sleep affects the way we go through our days. So that's an amazing, I would say, motivation for the brand, and this is why Dormeo is so big company as it is today, and why many people have at least one Dormeo product in their home. So that is the podcast. That is your host and my partner in this podcast. For today, as we will start our first episode, I would like to talk about, I would call it basic things to start when you want to do something about your sleep. Maybe we call it an alphabet of sleeping. Actually, the correct terms would be sleep hygiene, and the habits we have when it comes to sleeping. And it is important to start with the basic things, because sleep and quality of sleep is such a big topic. We can talk about so many things, and not to jump from one thing to another, we will start with what we all can do to actually sleep good, or maybe even before that, to answer the question, how is my sleeping now? Am I sleeping good or not? Many people have it problem to assess the quality of the sleep. Why you should continue listening today to me, not just to learn these alphabets and the first letters of sleep. I would also tell you that always have in mind that sleeping and quality sleep has 3 reasons why it's so big and important for us. It is directly influencing immunity system. So our immunity is depending on the quality of sleep. And next thing is that if we sleep good, we lower the risk of some serious disease that might develop or some health issue. And the third one, if we sleep good, we also make it much easier for ourselves to manage our weight. So those are, let's say, just 3 reasons which I think you should now have in your mind and say, yes, I want to listen now what you have to say. So let's start with our alphabet with first question. How do you know if you sleep good or not? So let me first introduce you to something which I called test. How is my sleeping? It's not a formal test, and don't be scared. You don't have to do anything. You will just have to listen to my questions. So it's something that I have developed for myself in the past, and I use it regularly when I want to reflect and think what kind of a sleep I have, and is there something to work on actually. As I said, these are questions. There's 7 questions, and these questions are very simple. You all have to do is listen and think about, let's say, last few weeks of your sleep. Each question can be answered with yes or no, and we will count how many of these questions you have answered with yes. So let's start. First question is like this. When you go to sleep, does it usually take longer than half an hour, longer than 30 minutes to fall asleep? That's your first question. Second one. Have you, in the last, let's say, few weeks, have you been waking up during the night more than once? And that's like a regular basis. So Have you been waking up more than once during the night? If even you wake up during the night, is it hard? Do you find it challenging to fall asleep again? The next question, the fourth one. In the morning, when you wake up and you go to the mirror and you look at yourself, do you see circles under your eyes and they're a little bit puffy or a little bit dark? Okay. The fifth question. Have you noticed any difficulties in concentration or do you experience something which is called brain fog? Sixth one. Do you feel lately more sad or more anxious or more stressed than you usually are? And the seventh. Do you feel cravings lately in junk food or maybe you have noticed some fluctuation in your weight? That was the seventh question. So these 7 questions, how many of them did you answer with yes? If you have answered 1 or 2, that means that it's not really ideal when it comes to sleeping. It's not also something that you should immediately jump and worry about, but maybe you should listen till the end of the episode. If you have answered 3 to 4 of these questions with yes, please listen to what I'm going to say and start maybe doing some changes. And if you have answered 5 to 7 of these questions with yes, please listen to this episode and whatever I will say, think about it, start step by step implementing these advices. So this was a very simple test and you don't do it only once. It's like I said, kind of simple questions, 7 of them. I did it in the past and occasionally, like I said, I come back and I redo it and I see if I have to do something. Many of these questions, even if you say yes, people will correlate with something else and they will start changing maybe the diet, the physical activity, introducing some supplements. It's not sleeping that will immediately come to your thoughts and you will immediately start doing something about sleeping. So what I want to spare you from is the fact that sleeping is not hard to take care of, but we just have to be aware we should do something about our sleep. So that's why, simple test. Now, this simple test has different questions because it correlates with different things that are happening inside our body when we sleep. We will talk in all of the episodes about specific segments and specific topics when it comes to sleep. Maybe now, except that the reasons which I already told you, the reasons why we should sleep good, like the immunity effect and lowering the risk for some sickness and weight management. We should know that when we sleep during the night, our body goes through phases, to cycles. And one very important phase and cycle is the deep sleep. That is where we want to get. And in order to get to that, we need proper sleep hygiene, these letters that we will learn. Often happens that people say, oh my God, but I have spent like 10 hours of sleeping and I still woke up and I feel tired and I'm groggy, and that is because something has interrupted those cycles. And you will see how many things can be on that list. So something keeps interrupting you from going from one cycle to another, to phase, reaching the deep sleep, and keeps returning you to the beginning. So you never actually reach the deep sleep. So what I'm trying to today to give to you as advices is everything you need to actually get into the deep sleep. Now I'll just take some water. This is not coffee, this is water. And let us continue. So what is our alphabet? Which are the letters we need to know when we want to go to sleep? How do we start taking care of our sleep, and what is the first thing? Don't run around everything. Let us start by talking about the place where you sleep. So maybe you have a bedroom where you sleep. Maybe you sleep in another room in your house, but you still have a dedicated place where you sleep. Let's think about that first. Sleep environment is several things. First, and the most visible one, is the actual mattress, pillow, and all the products you need to sleep. That's the Dormeo area. So I suggest if you are not happy with anything in that area, please talk to someone from Dormeo. Why is it important? We will not today talk about how to choose a mattress and how to choose a pillow. Those decisions are very hard and you need really knowledge to go through them. But these are the first things that influence the way you will go through your sleep. So your mattress or your topper, pillow, and many other things around you, they need to be good quality. You need to take some time when you are choosing those. You don't choose mattress every day of your life. You choose it a few times in your life. So this is a big decision. So make sure those are first the things you take a look. If you are not happy with any of them, you need to change. Myself, if I think about the mattress, I always ask myself, am I happy to come back home after a very hard day and lay down on my mattress? If I am, if my mattress hugs me, as I say, then my mattress is also good. If not, we need to change. So this is the first thing. Next thing is also correlated when it comes to the sleep environment, but it's not physical thing. It is something else. The light in the room where you sleep, you should try when you go to sleep that there is no light. There should not be any natural light or any artificial light. Try to get rid of it. If needed, buy some very good curtains or close the door if you have the light coming from another room. It should be dark because when it is dark, then it is a signal for our body and hormone called melatonin to actually start working. So please take care that the room where you sleep is dark. The next thing is also the temperature in the room. Of course, when it is winter, we all want to be cozy and warm, but that's not good for sleeping. So warmth and sleep, not good friends. You need to take care that the temperature in the room where you sleep is a bit lower. Around 18 Celsius would be the ideal one, a bit lower also better, but don't go high. Have in mind that also our body tries to cool down before we go to sleep, and in the moment our body cools down, that's where we go to sleep. So if you have the temperature in the room high and the body tries to cool down, that is where the problems happen and we have really troubles to go to fall asleep. So lower temperature, no light coming into the space, and no noise. Any kind of a noise, again, I know life happens. Some noises we cannot eliminate, but most of the noises we can eliminate. So try, because any kind of a noise actually, again, breaks these cycles and prevents you to go into deep sleep. So this is just few things when it comes to your sleeping environment, which you can now take a look around and say to yourself, I'm going to change something or I'm going to improve something. That's where you start. Second area which you start getting busy with is in the evening. And this is a little bit more complex but doable. First thing in this so-called evening routines, it's about the time we go to bed. And now if I would ask some of you who are listening, you would all tell me different times you go to bed. Some go at 9, some at 10, some at 11, some at midnight. It's different and that is normal. But what I want to say is that you can choose any time you go to bed, but once you choose it, please stick to it. Be consistent. Let it be the same time every night in a year. I will tell you my example. When I started getting really busy with sleeping and wanting to improve my sleep, I chose 11 as the hour I go to sleep. And I decided to stick to it. People around me didn't really have understanding about that. And yes, many would be, not angry, but didn't really appreciate when I would be the first one to leave the dinner or the party. Now, after all these years, it's 10 actually. It's not anymore 11, now it's 10. And my friends and family, they have understanding. They know that for me, this is very important and I stick to it. You should choose your hour, and no matter if it's a work week day or it's a weekend day, make sure it's a very similar time you go to bed So I stick to my 10 o'clock, not 365 days in a year, but I for sure stick to it 363. So you allow yourself sometimes to break it, but be consistent in the rest of the days. So this is the first thing. Be consistent when you go to bed, because this consistency will help your internal clock work better. It will also help waking up. So that will become more consistent. Second thing is, once you go to bed, no matter if it's 10, 11, whatever you choose, I would advise that you go a little bit earlier, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If you can also go half an hour earlier to bed. And why is that? Life is challenging. So many things happen to everyone, from very positive things to very negative things. And that all has effect. We carry that. A lot of stress, a lot of emotions. We are all doing everything. We want to be the best. And we bring all of that to the bed. Now our body needs a little bit of time to relax, to have that wind out, to have it go away, because our body needs to be relaxed to sleep. So this is why if you go to bed a little bit earlier, you have a bit of time for different relaxation techniques. It's not complicated. Again, you can read a page or two in the book. You can meditate. You can stretch, for example. Just do anything that you like. If none of those, I would suggest you can breathe. Now, I smile because breathing is something that we all say, oh, that's not just something I do all the time. You would be amazed how many people doesn't breathe correctly. Myself now, because I'm nervous. But when we go to bed, it should be proper and nice breathing. So when we go to bed, we should take time for a very nice deep breaths and exhales, like slowly exhale. If you do a few of those, you will see how nicely your muscles and your mind start to relax. So like I said, read a few pages of the book or just do the breathing exercises. So this is one thing. And what is also important is that before we go to bed, we should not drink coffee, or I would say let's not be near screen. That is a big topic. We are surrounded by screens, and screens make such a big part of our life. The only thing what is important, because we have to work, of course, and we communicate now with a lot of screens, let's not bring them into bedroom. So if you can keep your bedroom without the screens, no TV or similar. Also, when you go to these 10 minutes, 15 minutes of relaxation before sleep, don't bring the phone with you. I know many of you look at the phone till the last minute and then put this phone when you want to sleep under your pillow. Not good thing to do. There is much better things to put under your pillow, not the phone. But let's start, but just not taking the phone there, not taking tablet or laptop or any kind of a screen. So let's not be together with the screen before we go to bed. You will see the difference. It is hard. I know it will be hard, and this is one of the things that is hardest for people to start working on, but it is going to be so much worth, I promise to you. So this is when it comes to the evening routines. And then the third area which you can think about is what you do during the day. Like I said in the beginning, sleep and day, big correlation. Whatever we do during the day affects the way we will sleep at night. So if we want to sleep good, let's, for example, have some physical activity during the day. Half an hour walk does miracles. So if you cannot exercise and you don't like to exercise, you can just take a walk during the day. The way we eat, if we eat healthy foods, and when we have to make sure that our last meal and the sleep time between them is very long. The longer the better, as much as you can actually tolerate. So this is another thing. And during the day, if you are already out there, look at the sun. And this is, maybe you think, what now sun has to do with it? The sun is very important because it helps our circadian rhythm. So if you have opportunity when there is a sun outside and you can Just go outside, enjoy it a little bit, not just for the vitamin D, but also for sleep. So these are the three areas. Like I said, take a look around where you sleep. Take a look on your evening rituals and how you go to bed and when you go to bed. And also some things that you do during the day, if you can, try to take care of those. So that's the alphabet. That's how you start taking care of your sleep. Like I said, I wanted really to, in the first episode, to talk simple and tell you the things that I take care of every single day and every single night, and that you can start think about. But now that you have heard of all of that, I'm not asking you to jump and now do everything at once, because that's not impossible. We are creatures of habits, and creating and changing a habit is a lot of work. I just read a research that says that basically 66 days we need when we want to establish a habit and stick to it. So choose something that I have said, all of this, and try to work on it and be consistent, because the key of everything is the consistency. Whatever you will choose, it doesn't work. It doesn't help your sleep if you do it only tonight and then tomorrow you completely do it differently, or tomorrow night you go to bed much earlier or much later. The consistency should be there, and start with small steps. You don't have to take care of all these three areas of everything I have said. One day, 1 week, one thing, then another one, then another one, then another one. No jumps, but slowly, like I said, baby steps. So maybe now, when you heard all of this, you choose just one thing and you have it in your mind and you say, I'm going to work on this. What also you can do is, after you chose this one thing to change and you want to see the effect on your sleep, maybe you can track your sleep on one of the devices that you have already, or you want to just journal. So you just write in a small notebook, how did you sleep, how many hours did you sleep, and you will see maybe some changes there, but also you will feel it. When you start working about how you sleep and you want to sleep better, those are the changes that really need to become a habit that stays and grows with you. But the effects are wonderful. And sleeping is something that we should really take care of. The energy we get from sleep, the effects on our body, the effects on our health, it's all so much worth it. So I encourage you a lot now, whatever you have heard, don't run for everything. Choose one thing and stick to that and try to incorporate it. I would really much like to hear from you. What have you chosen? How do you sleep? Are you going to do any of the improvements? Would you like to know something else from us? So please comment, write some reviews, and give us your opinion back. Choosing to work on your sleep, like I said, is not something that you will see immediate effect tonight and tomorrow night, but you will see it over the nights, and it's going to give you back more than you invest in. So like I said, I know that always people who listen to me can be divided into two groups. One group that will say, oh, now I will just do this one thing and that's it. Or the other one who will say, I want to do everything. So I encourage both of you to start working on it, of course. Just be consistent. That's all what I ask for. Maybe one thing that is very easy to do, if you chose that you want to read a book before the bed, I would start by putting a book next to the bed. So that's, trust me, it will help. So put the book tonight next to your bed, choose a nice one and put it there. I have several, so I look at them and they look at me, and then that's how I decide whether I should read that night or not. So this is, for example, something that you can do. If you want to think about the time till next episode and our next episode, maybe you can think about how many hours should we sleep. That's one of my favorite questions. I always ask to people, how long do you sleep? Everyone has different answers. Everyone has different theories. And of course, it is different from person to person, but it's also some facts are there. So we will talk about it definitely in future episodes. For now, I think for today, I would like to basically conclude here and tell you that you have been listening to me telling you how to start thinking about I want to sleep good and I want quality sleep. So the test that we have done, if you want, you can also do it with the people you care about. Then I told you 3 areas where you should now take a look that are very simple, and you should now take a look on them and start maybe doing small steps, one thing at a time, consistently changing and on your way and on your path to a good sleep. So thank you for listening. Make sure that you follow up on this podcast and the next ones. You can write a comment. You can see and hear it on different platforms, so you can write also reviews. But also you can find podcast on the Romeo social networks, and then of course we can make contact there. So I wish you to start working on your sleep good and that you see effects very fast. And till the next time, I wish you a sweet dreams.